The NCAA tournament for the men, the NCAA tournament for the women. The brackets are set. We know who's going where, when they're going, who they're going to be playing, and also who got snubbed, who were the ones who got left out, who maybe should have been in the field for arguably the biggest party in sports. I'll say that. I love college football. I love the college football playoff, but no sport is as associated with its postseason tournament as college basketball. And yes, I know the NFL has the Super Bowl and it has the playoffs and all that, but we still celebrate that season from start to finish. Going and watching NFL football on a Sunday, it's a ritual. It's something to do. People plan their weeks around it. Sunday is sacrosanct, especially in metropolitan areas. And likewise for college football on Saturdays, in the South particularly. And even though some folks plan those darn weddings in the fall and other family functions, but it's on them when nobody shows up. But I digress. The NCAA tournament defines the entire college basketball season. People pay more attention. Serious fans, casual fans, not even fans at all. They still fill out brackets. It's a thing that bonds people together. And it costs a lot of man hours at the office. All across America. I can hear the printers humming now, all across the land, printing off those brackets. And then Johnny, the guy who runs the office pool with the brackets, he's handing them out to his coworkers. Hey, here you go. Fill this out. Where's your $5? And he's keeping a little something extra for the effort. Or maybe they're doing it the modern way. And they're sending out that link to join our pool on ESPN or CBS or Yahoo or what have you. And then somebody again goes and collects the money. A lot of money. A lot of money doled out during the NCAA tournaments. A lot of money doled out from people making wagers. A lot of people doling out cash to travel to see their respective teams. A lot of money rolled out and doled out by the television networks because they make bank on the NCAA tournament. Make no mistake about that. And it's a crazy thing when you think about it, how much attention turns to this one singular event. It's unbelievable. It's 3 weeks, and it captivates the whole country. It's amazing, and it happens. And it's one of the most American things ever, the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. And that's why people such as myself, I get a little antsy, I get a little twitchy when they start talking about changing it, expanding it, restructuring it. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the powers that be, they can't help themselves. We've got this many teams, and we've got this many games, and we've got this many locations receiving economic impacts. Why can't we have more? Nope. Doesn't work like that. Leave it alone. Okay, it's great the way it is. It works the way it is. It's perfect. It works gloriously. And if we've seen other iterations of the tournament, we've seen it expand several times just in my lifetime. I get it. But what we have right now might be as perfect as it can be. Changing it, altering it, doing anything to it would be like adding an extra brushstroke to the Mona Lisa. You don't do it. It doesn't need it. Leave it alone. It's perfect. We'll see if my cries and my pleas are heard in a few years, and if what we have now is what we'll have then. It's a sensitive topic. Do you change the NCAA tournament? And it's all because of money. Teams get in, they have an opportunity to make cash. Teams get in, they have an opportunity for exposure. And with that exposure comes more opportunities to get bigger, to get bigger, to get bigger. That's how it works. Okay? That's just how it works. I think about the Flutie effect. And I talk about the Flutie effect pretty often. The Flutie effect literally goes back to Doug Flutie, quarterback at Boston College, threw that infamous Hail Mary to beat Miami in 1984, went on to win the Heisman Trophy. It was his Heisman moment. But Boston College also received a jolt in student applications because of that singular moment, that one event that thrust it into the consciousness of America. Happened again when Appalachian State beat Michigan in football in 2007. App State got a jolt of applications, a jolt of booster money, and they helped use that momentum to move up to the Division 1A level out of the FCS. We see it all the time. Happens in the NCAA tournament. I have to think that Oakland the school just outside Detroit. I have to think that school had something of a Flutie effect when it had its NCAA run a couple years ago. I don't have the numbers. I don't have anything to quantify it. But I have to think that more people were interested in the school. They wanted to investigate the school. Let's find out what this place is all about. Maybe enrolled. Maybe applied to go to the school. And what did they do with that? Well, remains to be seen. But it's all about money. And the more teams that get in, the more teams that have a shot at elevating their presence, their brand, and if they can get on that stage, win a game or two, keep rolling it, there's a lot at stake and a lot to be gained. So any other reason to expand the tournament? I have no reason to expand the tournament. I'm going to walk that back. I have no reason to expand the tournament. It's perfect as it is. And it just really upsets me. And maybe I'm a sentimentalist when it comes to it. I don't know. Again, we know the teams that are in, and we also know some of the teams are out. Auburn, Oklahoma, you had your chance. You blew it. Those teams would have had zero shot of winning a national championship, first of all. And second of all, they had multiple opportunities to play their way in during the course of an overly long, way too long regular season. The bubble, one of the worst bubbles we've seen, at least in recent history. I don't even know if I like saying bubble. It's become so cliche. But the bubble of teams coming into this past weekend for conference tournament weekends was not great. Not great. A lot of 17-win teams, just not wonderful. One of the weakest we've seen in a few years. And that in and of itself is rock-solid proof that we do not need to add more spots to the NCAA tournament just to appease the bubble people, for lack of a better word. But the ones that did get in, they've got an opportunity to do something really special. What I find interesting, though, is how different things are now from even a couple of decades ago, and then obviously from way back in the day. Way back in the day. I think about when schools used to be pretty much automatic that if a school didn't get in to the NCAA tournament, they would accept a bid to the NIT. It was just how it worked. You would be one of the 32 teams playing basically for the B trophy. And it didn't used to be like that. The NIT used to be the event for decades. It used to be the national champion was crowned in the NIT, the National Invitational Tournament. And then things around the middle of the century started to pivot towards the NCAA tournament, and we have what we have now. But even going back to the early 2000s, there was still some weight to going to the NIT, some gravitas if you won that thing. You know, you didn't win the tournament, but you won a tournament of teams that were pretty good. Not NCAA tournament good, obviously, but pretty good, competitive. Now it's just like, they don't even want to bother. They pass up opportunities to play into the NIT. And I'm looking at the latest list of schools that have declined to play in the NIT, and I'm like, really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 schools declined to play in the NIT. Belmont, Virginia Tech, San Diego State, Seton Hall, Indiana, Florida State, Oklahoma. Wow. So you have 2 from the ACC. You got an SEC team in there. Indiana, I mean, I find that shocking. Now, I get it. I get it if you're undergoing a coaching change. Okay, that could be sticky. That could be tough. But some of these just don't make sense. Belmont, Coach Casey Alexander left to take the job at Kansas State. Okay, I get it. But I'm still scrolling. I don't see why San Diego State would decline this. I don't see why Indiana. I mean, unless it's a pride thing. Florida State, Oklahoma. Oklahoma was playing pretty good basketball towards the end. Looked solid in the SEC tournament. It has to be a financial thing, I would imagine, because you're not going to make money on it. Even if you host a game, I would have to think the financial machinations of it don't field a huge profit. The idea, my initial thinking would be that the NIT could be like a bowl game. Not the college football playoff, but a bowl game where you go and you get extra practices for next year and you can see who's going to be this and who can do that, who's, and maybe work out some kinks in the playbook again for next year, for the next season. Basketball, different, I guess, because it's a quicker turnaround. You don't have as many practice sessions. You may just have that one game. And also have to think about roster turnover. It's so rampant right now. I mean, in every sport, football and basketball both, but it's especially noticeable, I would have to think, in basketball, given the smaller size of the rosters. Maybe that's the key reason. If a school's having a coaching change, I get it. But if it's because of roster turnover and expenses, that makes more sense. It's just odd. And it's another sign of how drastically things have changed just over the last 5, 6, 7 years. It's incredible. And I am not that old, but I do remember when the NIT was pretty cool. Not when it was the tournament of tournaments, but when it was pretty cool. It was a neat event, and I would watch it because I liked college basketball. And these were teams that I knew were solid, and there were fewer spots in the NCAA tournament as well. But now you're just like, I mean, I can't even. Let's see if I can pull it up and actually look at the field of who's in the NIT this year and try to figure out the ones who willingly took this opportunity to keep playing to expand their season. And I'm looking at it now. Auburn, by the way. Auburn, New Mexico, Wake Forest, and Tulsa, your number one seed. So Auburn, which screamed to high heaven wanting to get in, the Nepo baby, Stephen Pearl, assisted by Papa, Bruce Pearl, who now has that megaphone on CBS Sports, screaming that they should have gotten into the NCAA tournament as an at-large. That didn't happen, but they did take this. How disingenuous would they have come across if they'd have turned this down? They were pretty much saying they played the most difficult schedule in America, even though they only won 17 games in that schedule. And they wanted to play, but if they would have turned this down, I think it would have made their arguments disingenuous. And by the way, having the strongest schedule in America, I don't put a lot of stock in it unless you actually win those games, or at least a majority of those games. Winning 17 of them, nah. No, I think that falls flat. And the optics of Bruce Pearl screaming that Auburn should be in the field in this. Come on, man. I know you're still kind of new to this media thing, but that was a bad look. I'm gazing upon the NIT field right now, and it's a lot of mid-majors. I get it. They want the exposure. Bradley, Cal, Colorado State, Dayton, Davidson, George Mason, people like that is in it. Power conference schools. I have Auburn, Cal, Oklahoma State, Wake Forest. That's it. Auburn, Cal, Oklahoma State, Wake Forest. You got Yale in there, for goodness sakes. So hurt by the ones who turned it down, but still, I would imagine a quality field nevertheless. The championship will be played at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. That's the home of the Indiana Pacers. That'll be on Sunday, April 5th. Semifinals will be at Hinkle Fieldhouse, historic Hinkle Fieldhouse at Butler. So that'll be April 2nd. NIT. Basketball season, it's hard to believe that it's almost done. It's hard to believe. And it really hit me as I'm watching the conference tournaments over the weekend, and I'm like, wow, it's already here. Like, they're going to crown an SEC champion this weekend. They're going to crown an ACC champion this weekend. Jeez. Or this is the last time that so-and-so will be in this uniform unless they get into the NCAA tournament and this, that, and the other. It blew me away. But not a super long show tonight. Still trying to get my feet under me after having to deal with a couple things. But also got to fill this thing out. No, not for money. Just to figure out how bad I am at picking it. We'll find out. Thanks for absorbing this podcast. Do what you do for podcast. Like, subscribe, whatever, follow, please do it for this one. Feel free to leave comments below or hit me up directly on Twitter, X, at Scott H Sports. DMs are open. Questions, comments, complaints, suggestions, whatever, throw them my way. If there's a topic you want me to discuss, to broach, I'll be happy to do it. If there's a guest you want me to interview, I will do my absolute darndest to facilitate it. But otherwise, until next time, I got to fill this out. We'll chat later.